Good. In the Far East countries, however, Rotary is growing with more younger members and more smaller, flexible clubs. North America has fallen down 30%. We did attract many new members, but we weren't able to keep them. Rotary International had come up with all kinds of different programs, strategies, but they didn't quite get it. I remember in 2001 when RI President Richard King launched a huge membership campaign with rewards and pins for clubs who recruited the most members or developed the most clubs. Oh yeah, lots of members joined, but they left within 2 years. So why do you think that is? Any guesses? Why do people leave?
They weren't participating. They weren't participating, most of them.
That's one of them.
They didn't.
Or they weren't invited to participate.
They didn't feel welcome.
Okay. So a few other ones, which is from the RI site. The expectations weren't met. You know, that's a normal thing. You leave when you're not happy. Many clubs didn't want to change their weekly routine, while new, younger members wanted more flexibilities. So members were bored. Rotarians aged. And there were other reasons. And while some resignations may be caused by disputes or lack of vibrancy in a club, business and life changes are by far the major reasons members leave. With most of our members in the last quarter here in the North, in North America, the last quarters of the age profile, it's even more important to focus on attracting new members and offer flexibility. Yes, we do need we do need more new members, but not just on paper. We need Rotarians who want to change lives and enjoy doing this together as a team. We're not a social club. We are people of action. But we also want to make good use of our time. So this is your club. And today we're going to find out what it is that you expect out of Rotary. So you all got some pages there in front of you. The first page is the planning session purpose. It tells you why we're doing this, and there's a few rules, and it addresses the why, the how, and the what. And these are the guidelines. So we'll all understand the process, we stay focused, and we'll all want to be on the same page. So our first exercise was getting to know your fellow members. So we asked each of you to complete 4 questions from the person next to you. And I hope you took notes, because maybe you don't remember what the other person told you. And we're going to ask you to introduce the person next to you. Again, we'll stress to keep it very brief. Just 4 short answers. You will be able to sign up for your classification talk later. So, would you like to start, Joe?
Okay, I have the pleasure of introducing Bill Stadler.
Would you like to be involved?
Bill has been involved with Rotary for about 5 years.
So,
He feels like he's minimally involved, but we can work with that. And he would like to be involved. He's interested in environmental causes. Welcome, Bill.
And the lady that just introduced me, that's Joan Fauvert, Schuttel. And she's been in Rotary quite a while, 12 years. And she is down here sharing in our club and then back in California also. And what she's interested in is learning in detail. What she's now involved in is to get interested speakers for each of these meetings. So nice meeting you today.
The lady next to me is Anastasia Boyd, whom I hope all of you know. Anastasia is our current president. She has been a Rotarian in her note here for 10 years. And she is currently the president and has been, that's it.
Thank you. The next to me is Michael McCarthy. And he's been involved, he's got it this specific, in Rotary for 17 years, 3 months and 8 days. And he's been involved as past president.
Huh?
And
We're gonna do
what do
each
you
other.
call yourself?
You guys introduce each other.
Oh, yeah, gotta introduce each other.
Service projects chair and our favorite Sergeant at Arms and our favorite match.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's you two.
28.
I was 14.
I'm Doug Haley, and introduce this a guest of ours today. Her name is Lisa Kingsbury. She's been here for over a year in Ajijic, and she has come here from most recently from Houston, so a lot of people can relate to her for that. Yes,
Right.
and so she is not in Rotary right now, but she's interested in knowing more. So that's all we're trying to her and help her as much as we can. Now, what would she like to be involved in? She expresses that she likes projects helping with food. So I think that there's lots of opportunity here for that, and she'll be able to. We can help her with that, by projects, yeah. And then she also is interested in developing friends. So this is a great place to be to develop friends, yes. And also being helpful in general. So let's have a applause for her. Applause for coming to be as a guest for.
Bravo.
This gentleman is Steve Haley. He's been involved in Rotary for 1.5 years. And wants to do it all. He's been involved by providing his inner happiness, joy, and light to the vast expanse of the Rotary community. And he wants to be involved in supporting projects that help Ajijic be the happiest Rotary club of all. I'd like to introduce you to Santiago Hernandez.
Well,
Sitting here. She's been a part of our Rotary Club for 12 years. He has been an officer for over 5 years. Some of you know, he was the president for 3 years. Now he's moved on to being our treasurer. He also has a special relationship with our district governor, Enrique Garcia, and so he does special projects with Enrique. He also serves as a translator for us because he is bilingual. And as you can see, he's our audio visual person still.
well, thank you very much.
You want me to film you?
Yeah, I've just. Yeah, we can do. There you go. And I was introduced by Jeanette Manasov. We've had the pleasure of having her come to our club and the privilege pleasure and privilege for the past 2.5 years. She's a liaison currently with the district governor. She's the assistant to the district governor for the clubs of here the Lakeside, Chapala Sunrise and Hokotepec. She's been involved basically in everything. She says that to everything she says yes. For example, being scribe today, Ellie said, I need a scribe. Yes. Okay, she was asked to be president. She said yes. So she's going to help our governor set up the Heart to Heart Project Fair in the upcoming months. And she would like to be involved in tracking all of our projects. So again, her motto is say yes when needed. Okay, I do believe she deserves a big applause all the time.
I have the pleasure to introduce a longtime Rotarian, Dale Knight. And I understand that she's been a member for 23 years. 28 years. Oh my gosh, we have to have member from today. And you say, well, how was she to get involved? Well, she's been involved, I think, every single moment of her life with the Rotary. And she is in the past been and still is a Paul Harris Fellow and also a major donor at the Rotary International.
Rotary Foundation.
Yeah, the Rotary Foundation. And how many years have you gone to Uganda? And she's involved in that.
I've been going to Uganda since 2007.
So we got 2025, so every year. And getting involved with Rotary clubs there and helping young people, not only women in their personal, but the males in their education for knowing to be a better person. Anything else we should tell? Is there anything else you want us to tell? Oh, she's also heads up here for the Rotary Foundation.
Okay.
The next thing will be in a classification talk.
Good.
Yeah, the next.
Okay.
That's right.
Now,
It's like it, yeah.
Bill, it's your turn.
you introduce Carol.
I would like to introduce to you our very first famous Carol Wolf, who always says, I'll take care of that. I'll do it. She's been a Rotarian for 14 years. She's a past president. She's currently our executive secretary. And as I said, she volunteers for just about everything.
Anything that's needed, yeah.
Anything that's needed, ask Carol. And she knows all of the ins and outs of what makes a successful club run. She's our expert. Thank you, Carol.
Archival,
Bravo, bravo.
thank you.
To my side, I have Steve Brown. And he has been 15 years in Rotary, but not lately. And he is planning on becoming a member in our Rotary.
Yes.
He would like to be involved in fundraising projects. We can certainly keep you busy with that.
We like that.
Bravo.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Pleasure today. I have good people on either side of me, so we're going to take a run at this. Anita, of course, is our secretary, who's been involved with Rotary for 10 years and has a marketing background. And I must say, I commend Anita and everyone else who is a director or officer. The work is nonstop and it's amazing. On my other side, of course, new friends, Tom and Nancy, and we were sharing some experiences that I've had in the last River Club I was involved with in Burlington, Ontario, and fundraising where we were involved in rib fest. So they're looking, they've been here for three meetings and looking for a club that they'd like to get involved with. And hopefully this is a club that will find a home for them. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
I'd like to introduce my wife, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
I
Nancy.
I interviewed Steve, and he got all the notes, and then Anita came, so she got. Nancy and I would like to get involved, participate in part of the event, be extra pair of helping hands, that whatever is needed, that we'll be able to accomplish.
Bravo, thank you.
I don't have a buddy, so I get off scot-free.
Oh, thank you all, thank you all. Actually, this one off, now you keep this. This one. This one, I think this was the one. No. Well, yeah, I think that's done. Well, no, maybe, yeah, just leave it for now. So about a month ago, I can't remember exactly when it was, but, you were given the opportunity to take part in a survey in which we asked about your experience and satisfaction level. So the sheet with the results, the summary, is attached. And we're going not in detail, but we're going through some specific points that are specifically related to member satisfaction, which basically includes anything having to do with the meeting, all that kind of stuff. So we try to touch on some of the things. The outcome clearly indicates that what you are satisfied with and what you feel needs improvement. And today, I will ask you what it is that you would like to see happening in changes on some of the topics. And then my friend Jeanette will take notes because it helps if we have a recording of that somehow.
This would be helpful if we had.
I also encourage you to use the future vision sheet. Lots of space here to write on so that you can write your thoughts. We have limited time today, so we may not be able to go through everything. So it will help us to save some time. I would like to touch on the one item there on the top where it says feeling welcome in the club. It was nice to see that 10 people said excellent and only 2 said adequate. So we want to see all those items to be top, excellent or the best or whatever, right? That's our goal to get there. So another suggestion was, let me see, where was that? Okay, the cost. Everyone agreed on the cost of membership being reasonable. So we don't need to address this. It was good. There was only one comment on the cost. And that said something about passing the hand. So if anybody has any suggestions on how we could raise funds outside of our official fundraisers without having to pass the hat around, because some people may not feel comfortable with it, so people may feel pressured. So perhaps you can write down or express what you think we could do about it. So let's just go back a little bit here to club involvement under topic membership development. So this includes member orientation and education. And I think there is where we could improve a little bit. So if anybody has any ideas or suggestions or comments on how we could improve member orientation and education about Rotary. This is where we like to hear your suggestion. If you don't want to talk about it, you can write it down. Would anybody like to share any suggestions or ideas on how we can improve membership orientation? Learn, you come here for the first time, you don't know anything, you want to learn more about Rotary. Juanita?
I think that, we had a package, of orientation materials, and we would assign a member to be,
Mentor.
mentor for that person. I can, well, I can remember now way back to when Bernie first joined in San Luis Obispo. One of the senior members of the club took him out to lunch. And one-on-one, and talked about Rotary and answered all his questions.
Anybody else? Suggestions? Or deal?
In my previous California club, we had a series of new member orientation sessions. We called them fireside chats. And at each one of those, we had one or two of the leaders of the different avenues of service talk about that avenue of service and relate it to the projects that the club has been involved in, but also asking these new members what they would be interested in participating in as part of that orientation.
Thank you, Dale. We like to hear from prospective members too, right? Absolutely.
I guess for me, I've been finding it a little overwhelming to come to these meetings and I'm kind of an extrovert, but I can be a real introvert as well. And so it's hard for me to feel comfortable asking questions. So I like the idea of a one-on-one mentor perhaps to like say just on an afternoon, go for coffee and sit with me. And so I can privately ask questions and so you don't come to these meetings and kind of feel pressured.
Excellent, that's what we want to hear. Anybody else would like to comment? The fireside Dale mentioned has always been very successful in my club back in Canada. And we would make it a social event. And we would have all the committee chairs talk about their aspects. We had little games, little quizzes. So that's already in the planning stage. Yeah, fireside. Let's continue on to
Ellie?
oh, I'm sorry.
My experience is that if all of the member Rotary clubs made an effort to go and introduce themselves, and it's really a matter of issuing some forth some warmth from the heart to actually encourage people to be human with us. The mind can be very critical, and just words are one thing, and that's helpful. But the emotion from the heart of love and being here as fellow human beings together, and Rotary is a great place for doing that because we shift from just being as humans to being together to do something beneficial. That's so wonderful. So we just include that aura when we're with people, and that was very helpful for me when I came here.
Thank you, David.
Two Rotarians took us out for dinner right away, and that was great.
Thank you. The next topic is local volunteer, local service project, your involvement. I think that number was at 7 out of 12 for currently involved and others would like to be involved. So perhaps you'd like to share how you would like to be involved in local service project. Anybody? Steve?
Given that it's a brand new year, I think it's appropriate, given the fact that there's a few of us who are pretty new to this club, that there should be a clear communication in terms of what the club's goals are, in terms of fundraising and projects. And Rotary Foundation and the big money stuff is great. But it's, you know, we're little people here, so, you know, we sit at tables, we sell tickets, we serve drinks, we do things that we all can do. But as a club, as an individual, I'd like to understand and identify with, why are we here? Not just fellowship, but we're here to serve. And we live here and we love it here. We choose to be here. So that might be a good weekly talk to have. That would be helpful for me anyway. Thank you.
One of the themes, thank you, Steve. One of the themes, Rotary themes coming up is community. And I think we kind of drafted in our program to have Jeanette talk about various community projects during that month for everybody to understand and live. And we also talked about having something like a project fair and have the beneficiaries of our projects that we're involved in there, like set up a table, make it social, and have them right there. And we also invite more beneficiaries, leaders, to be part of our club. Any thoughts about international projects? Because both Dale and I have been very much involved in international projects. And, you know, there are many clubs that so focused on community projects that sometimes we tend to forget that there's lots of opportunity for international. Santi?
Merci beaucoup. Well, touching a little bit on what Steve said, our clubs, all clubs have members that are very interested in developing at the local level, and there are members who are very interested in working at the international level. Why not form committees for local projects or as subdivisions? Have a person who's like the director for local projects, like Stevie, that's his thing, yeah, let's go. And Dale, she could be, for example, the one for international projects. So we don't neglect one or the other. And if somebody says, you know what, I'm new to this community, I've been involved in India and France and in Africa, you know, who do I talk to about that? Dale's a person. Or you know what, I'm interested here in feeding the people at San Juan Cosola, or you know, one of the dog shelters or orphanages at the local level. Let's talk to Steve. Okay, he's the man. So I think that as part of the projects committee, maybe you have identified the director or chair or the liaison for each one of those groups.
Thank you. I thought it was Jeanette that was, but that she's the overall thing. I get it. One thought that we had about, one of our, we talked about, I think at the board meeting, about team building. And we could have every other month or so, 1 week instead of a regular meeting, like Steve and the people that like to be involved in community project, get together, have lunch. And I heard too that some people like to, like you said, sit down together over coffee. And it's a great way to get to know each other. And personally, I like to do that with my membership committee. We'll get together, we start brainstorming, and that would be instead of a regular meeting, we all just go in a small group together. Okay, let's move on to the weekly meeting. That's a big one. It's a little bit of a mix, but we like to hear your thoughts on most of the topics. If I get like a 5 minute, five up before I have to close, that would help me, thank you. So,
You have 5.
no, I think I have more than that. Variety of program. I thought we were already starting to make some changes. Is there any, you guys have some ideas about variety in weekly programs? Or no? Or write them down, Madam President?
Well, we've been talking about the fact that our agendas aren't chiseled into stone. So we can change them, we can be more flexible. We can have, instead of a regular meeting, I think you mentioned that once in our short discussions that, let's say the third Tuesday of the month would just be I know we have the 5th Tuesday as a social, but I think we should get something that's a little bit more relaxed. And getting together and talking about things like that. So we are open-minded to that. And it's, I mean, this is why we're studying today. So we can get ideas of what people would like. So it doesn't have to be a dry protocol, you know, here we are and isn't this nice and see you next week. Right?
Yeah, well, I forget what I was going to say, and then I'll get back to you. Initially, each month was a theme, the Rotary theme, and all the meetings would be focused on that particular theme. But what we're doing now is have at least the first Tuesday of the month as the Rotary theme. So next week we have the International College addressing something about literacy, because next week is basic educational literacy. September, yeah. Next week is already September. The other thing that we are in the process of organizing sometime in November to go with the Hokotepec Club to the berry farm across the lake. And he will give us a little bit of a tour, and he will give us an opportunity of some berry picking, and then we all go for lunch together, and we'll get to meet more of the Hokotepec members. So any other, oh yeah, now it's your turn. This thing is so loud.
Okay, what I want to encourage, and I want us to communicate this to all of the membership, not just the people who are here. Every one of us should take on awareness, responsibility to identify subjects or speakers that our members might be interested in. So I want that to be not just my responsibility or Ellie's responsibility, but everyone in the club. When you're out and about in your life, if you come across something that's interesting, then get contact information, raise the subject, and let us know that this particular person or subject might be of interest to the club. So I want everybody to give input to that.
Thank you, Juanita. There was also a topic about family involvement. There was only one person who said we'd like to see more family involved, but they're always invited. So it's really up to them. Unless somebody has some ideas about how to engage the family, more family members. Different activities, like when we go to the berry farm, bring it home. No problem with that. Okay, then we'll move on. More volunteer opportunities. So we like to hear what it is you like to do. And I think that kind of ties in with the local service project. If you want to write notes, that's okay too. You write it down. Anybody commenting on it? Oh, If there's any volunteer opportunities that you like to be involved in, or what kind of volunteer opportunities you would like to see happen.
So is it,
Jim?
Well, this is something I really love to get developed here. Is that we have somebody who's keeping track of what kind of volunteer opportunities there are in the community. And and keep track of that, make a report to people or to our club and say, okay, Nita Sabias needs translators next month. da, da, da. Or this feeding program needs some volunteers on a weekly basis, and somebody keep track of that. So I have to say, I'm thrilled that there are people here making really great suggestions. And I think our club is about to turn to a new leaf, which is exciting. So that I do think we need someone to search out hands-on volunteer programs and keep track of it. I don't know if you remember the man that came from Brentwood, this is Robbie's friend last year. They have a whole program where they advertise that they do home repair, not home repairs, but changing light bulbs. And they reach out to like elderly people who can't, or handicapped people who can't do services. And they have a whole, it's like a on-call where they go in and service different things in a home. Not something you would need a repairman for, but somebody who could get up on a ladder or something. So I think that would be a really great thing in this community is to offer that, but we would need somebody to experience.
Yeah, when I spoke with Manny, he said he would be able to get lots of those kind of things. And that could be like the other month, every other month, whatever. More focus on fellowship. Well, we have our 5th Tuesday fellowship. Are there any other things? Well, I don't know yet what we're gonna do for the holiday season, but she's going to. Are we doing for time?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Okay.
2:48.
Okay, there was a man that came here last year from Arizona, and he said that they have a fellowship subcommittee. And I think every other month, 8 people from the club get together, maybe they make spaghetti one time, maybe they watch a video, whatever, that it's a subgroup of the full club just to have fun together, and that keeps rotating and different people show up at the event. And somebody was the director of that.
And you're right to talk at the same time.
I will.
Okay, I think we can, I think that is there anything else in particular that you like to comment on? And then I encourage you to write things down, and if you write your name on it, then we can follow up on with you, and hand in your sheet, please.
When we went to the International RI Conference, during many of the breakout workshops, the other clubs gave great ideas that they worked in clubs. One of them was like, guess who's coming to dinner? Where you kind of pass out tickets and stuff like that. You don't know who's coming to dinner for dessert, etc. And it's a great way to get to know each other and to foster friendship and fellowship. So that's one idea. I would recommend implementing more of those ideas in our club. And I saw Nancy shaking her head, that she would be into that, huh?
We need a social committee,
Yeah.
really, we need a social committee. Okay, so, lots of great ideas, thank you for your participation. I wish there could have been more members here, and then, now they have no reason to complain, right? If they're not here and giving input. So, I'd like to introduce our team, our membership team is Dr. Santi. And Carol is as administrative, they will help us with all the entering information and things like that. And as a subcommittee, Juanita is involved because the program is a big part of that. And I will, by bringing a message from Rotary International President Francesco Rezo, that's how they pronounce it. The strength of our club lies in you, how you participate, what you feel you get out of your membership, and how you experience your involvement. Thank you.
Right.
Wow.
Ellie, thank you so much for actually a wonderful presentation today. On short notice, because we had something else slated for today that had to be postponed, and she handled the scramble. So thank you.
Very
Thank you very
good.
much.
Thank you.
Now we're just going to go, the last points to our, I know that, we had other things on our agenda for projects and everything else, but we're going to have to postpone those if you don't mind, Jeanette, because, I have a very important appointment after I adjourn here. Because my husband and I are celebrating our 38th wedding anniversary, so.
Oh, boy.
So I have another life outside of Rotary. Sergeant at Arms, would you like to do our happy pesos right now?
May I, Anastasia, may I say something quickly? This is for everybody, please, I sent these out in our group, but mark your calendars or save the date. So that way, and please try to read through the flyers. You know, the month of September is, like, the whole month is National Independence Month. So various clubs are having events. Club Chapultepec has invited us on September 5th to an event, and Club Tepatitlan has invited us on the 31st. The Tepa Club has always been a lot of fun, so I think we could get a group of us to go out there. And the 5th, locally, it's in Guadalajara, and just refer to our group flyers. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And also, I think we have a club, happy pesos and helping that we celebrate his birthday. That was yesterday. So happy birthday, Darby.
Bravo, bravo.
You care to tell us how many times around the sun you've been?
The point that I've been, in this Western countries, I'm 85 now, but in India, where we just came from, I'm 86. So I guess 84 is correct because I finished it, say. I like the Indian way better than I get my year. I get my year to do the whole year at the start.
All right, we're gonna do well, this thing does speak up a little bit more. We're gonna do. Yeah. You know, when you clean the spit out of a microphone, it helps a whole lot. Nose drippings and all the rest of it. It's now time for happy pesos, which means, if there's something you're happy about, found a $50 bill, you know, or, well, that would be highly unlikely here, but even more unlikelihood if you're north of the border. So if you have something that you would like to announce, yes, ma'am. See money being made.